most Catholics don't know that very many priests are living in abject poverty. People think, well, priests, they receive a salary from their diocese or from their parish. Some people even think that the Vatican sends all priests a check once a month to take care of their expenses. That's simply not the case in many places. It can be true in places like the United States, like Europe, like Canada, where the church is well organized and where the diocese have sufficient means, and so priests get their salary from their diocese or from their parish. But in most countries, especially in Latin America, places like Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Peru, places in most of sub-Saharan Africa, priests do not receive a regular wage, but depend entirely on the parish that they end up with. So if they end up with a wealthy parish, well, then they have nothing to worry about. But if they end up with a poor parish, well, they become poor like the parishioners that they live with. And that can lead to some very precarious situations. We've known priests who have had to sleep on the floor of their rectory because they arrive and there's no bed. We even know priests, especially in Mexico, who get to their new parish and there's no rectory, and they end up sleeping on the floor of the church, protected just by a little curtain from the rest of the church. Priests who have no bathroom, who have no running water, who have no electricity, who have no car, who have no fridge, sometimes who have no windows on their house because there's just no money to pay for those things. It becomes very dangerous when a priest doesn't have enough money to buy medicine or to go to hospital or to go to the doctor when he needs to. We have the case of Father Candido in the middle of Mexico, who we've been helping for several years, who was in a traffic accident 20 years ago, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. He's been ministering to his community for the last 20 years from a wheelchair. And the collection brings in once a week about $16 and he's supposed to live from that. It's a man who needs medicine, who needs to eat and sleep on a bed like we all do, and he just doesn't have the money to do that. Priests who have to go to market and sell sandwiches or sell fish 2 or 3 times a week. Some priests even, I knew a priest in Africa, in the south of Africa, who had to drive the taxi every day in order to make some money to be able to live. Brothers and sisters, that should not happen. Priests should have enough financial independence, not to be wealthy, not even to be well off, but to be able to dedicate themselves to their job, which is taking care of our spiritual well-being. And so as a foundation, what we do to try to take care of this problem, to try to minimize this problem for many priests, we look for priests who are in dire financial situations, who have no money to survive. And we try to coach them so that they can make a plan. What will I do in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years to become a little bit more financially stable? And in the meantime, we pay them a regular, modest, very modest, but a regular monthly wage. We do that with about 25 priests at the moment, but we want to do it with many, many more priests. Did you know that there are over 500,000 priests in the world, many of them living in situations like the ones that I have just described? If you want to find out more about this and more about what we're doing, visit our website, www.canela, like written up here, canelacharity.org, or follow the link in the description. Give us a like, but especially say a prayer for us, say a prayer for our work, say a prayer for the priests that we're trying to help, all of the other priests that we'd like to help, but we're not able to help yet. We're praying for you, and we're asking God to bless you.